Hi beautiful souls, I'm so happy to see you again this Thursday night, and I'm sitting in my beautiful room again after a big day with my clients. And tonight I'm really compelled to remind you again the importance of self-love, giving yourself loving attention, giving your heart beautiful love is the most important action that you can take for yourself, and that will really transform every area of your life. So my students and my clients, they know that I actually teach them how to love themselves, how to turn that into a practical language that's doable. And the strange thing is, though, I'm guilty of forgetting doing this myself, and of course some of my clients, they have to come back regularly, and then I have to always remind them again, well, how have you been going with loving yourself? So recently I've been seeing clients with cancer, several clients with cancer, and one client, he got busy with his business, and when he came back to me, his cancer tumor had grown, and so I jokingly said, well, how's your self-love going? And he said, well, actually I forgot about it. I put it on the back burner because my business was so busy, I had problems to solve. And then I said, well, maybe your cancer was missing your unconditional love, and now it's grown bigger again because it's reaching out to you and it's crying out for love. So the thing, if you want to shift anything in your life, any positive changes, if you want magic to happen or miracles to happen, if you want the world to change, and if you want problems to go away or be fixed, I'm going to encourage you to really radically start loving yourself first. I had to learn to do that many years ago. I had it all upside down because of my upbringing, growing up in a very strict Christian sect, where self-love was absolutely, in those days, frowned upon. It wasn't a good thing to do, and the attention was always like going outwards to everyone around us, like the love had to be gone. And of course naturally it went into my children and into my friends and into Peter, and I found it very easy to do, by the way. But I didn't realize till probably 7 years ago that I was doing it the wrong way around. I had to show myself that love first, and once I started to do that, a lot of my problems disappeared, like problems in my relationship, tension between Peter and me. When you love yourself, you become so easy to love as well. You become a people magnet. So how can you love yourself more? And isn't it strange, by the way, that you have to be reminded to do this, and that it's become so unnatural and so embarrassing for people to love themselves, and that you actually need to tell me, that you need me to tell you again how to do this, because we're living in a universe where everything is held together with the energy of unconditional love. There is actually nothing but unconditional love. And when you die and you go to the white light, how people say, they're surrounded by white light, that's the light of unconditional love. When I work with people and heal people, I'm using the energy of unconditional love, and you are actually nothing but unconditional love. And if you feel separated from it, or removed from it, or disconnected from it, it simply means you're caught up in your left brain. So don't worry about it too much. And I'm going to show you a really easy way to hook back into that love language. So once you start to use the language of love, the universe starts to respond to your every wish. Because the universe is actually what we call the bank of benevolence. And that means the universe is like the bank of goodwill, and it wants to give to you, and it wants to give to more and more to you. However, first of all, I guess you need to know what you want, and it's easier to know what you want when you love yourself. So in today's world, like right now at the moment, when the world is kind of, our planet seems to be going all topsy-turvy, and there's so many big problems, and it's very tumultuous. It's again very, very easy to be distracted by what's going on in the outside, and it can we can even use it as an excuse to not put in the hard work. So the hard work is just that you need to commit to loving yourself unconditionally. So how I'm going to teach you to do that is tonight after the video, you go to the mirror, so you look at yourself in your left eye. So the left eye is often a connection to the soul, and then you say to yourself, I commit to loving myself unconditionally now and forever. And that's a promise that you've made, and that the universe has witnessed, and even that promise in itself is already going to create dramatic changes in your life. But you can actually do that for 5 or 10 minutes. So you can even do that with me now. I'll say that sentence again. And this time I actually want you to close your eyes and really pay attention to your body, like inside. Go into your body. Maybe pretend you're rolling your eyeballs into the back of your head, so they're looking inward. And then you just hear my voice say, I now commit to loving myself 100% forever. I now 100% commit to loving myself unconditionally forever. And so now notice what's going on inside your body. So resistance will show up somewhere. So some people feel they suddenly get sweaty, they get a hot flush, they feel an itch somewhere, they might get a headache. So just notice what's going on for you. They might want to laugh, they might want to cry. And so now I'm going to teach you the next step. So you can say out loud, I love myself, I commit to loving myself unconditionally. So I'm right now getting a little bit of a tension headache. So that's a little bit of resistance to loving myself. And because it might be showing up because I've had a busy day today, who knows. And so I'm simply going to close my eyes and I'm going to say to myself, I love myself for feeling headachy. I love myself. And now the cat is crying near my door, so I'm going to say, I love myself for feeling distracted by my cat. And I love myself for feeling tension in my stomach. And I was annoyed by the cat, so I can say, I love myself for feeling annoyed. I love myself for feeling tension in my brain, and so on. So whatever meets you, whatever pops into your reality or into your field of vision, into your internal work, internal environment, whatever pops into your body, especially I want you to catch the negative reactions. I don't want you to be positive. I just want you to shower that feeling with love. So you just keep going like, here's the cat again. So I can say, I love myself for feeling distracted. So I'm feeling distracted again. I love myself for losing my focus so easily, and so on. So when you do this, and I want to explain something. When you say, I love myself, sometimes when you're really stressed, you can simply just go, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. I love myself for feeling stressed. So some of you might say, well, Grada, that isn't true. I don't love myself. And it feels like a lie in my body. It feels as if I'm lying to myself, and I don't want to be lying to myself. That's like a negative feeling. So I just want to make this really, really clear to you. when you start doing this, and it's just a simple language, a simple sentence like I love myself for feeling silly or whatever, it feels strange to you first because your subconscious mind hasn't heard you say those words before. So it's like a new language to your subconscious mind, and it's just a matter of practicing it. Just keep doing it, and it gets easier and easier. After a week, it's already so much easier, and after a month, you'll be an absolute champion. You'll be a master, and after a year, your whole life will be transformed. Even your money, your relationships, and your health as well, your immune system, because the unconscious mind completely understands the meaning of the words. So the unconscious mind already understands the meaning of the words now when you say I love myself. And even if it feels a little bit like untrue or fake, it doesn't detract from the meaning of that universal language. So it's simply a matter of trusting the process, trust it enough to do it, and don't wait for problems to appear first, or don't wait for your whole life to fall apart before you start practicing, which is actually what most people do. And even if you do that, if you use this as a last resort, you're still going to have tremendous benefits. So many of my clients, they've literally had things happen like a huge money windfall, new relationships, new love in their life. They found their dream home. They have made their wishes come true. And it's just a simple practice that to take the attention inward, bring the focus back, pay loving attention to your heart, okay? And the most important thing is just to use the word. So like when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling ashamed, some of those deep, deep emotions that pull us down are like shame, blame, regret, and guilt. Just feel them and say, I love myself for feeling ashamed. I love myself for feeling humiliated. I love myself for feeling silly. I love myself. And you can keep using the same word. So you can keep saying, I love myself for feeling silly. Suddenly there'll be something else. I love myself for not feeling energetic. I love myself for not wanting to go to the gym. And just become absolutely passionate about loving yourself. So I want to finish with a story that one time Peter and I, we were sleeping in a hotel in Sydney, and it was absolutely beautiful, and we just had a breakthrough the day before, so we were still talking about something that had happened between us, like a breakthrough session, and I was going off to sleep, and I usually when I go off to sleep, I always make sure that I'm really, really paying 100% attention to loving myself. Like I feel my arms, or I feel my shoulder, or I feel my head on the pillow, and I feel how much I love and respect myself. And suddenly I felt this beautiful wave of love, love and healing, a sense of well-being absolutely flood my body like a tsunami. I never felt anything like it. It was so powerful that it even shifted something in the part of my body that is still paralyzed, like around my sacrum and my lower back. I felt some of my nerves wake up, and so I immediately knew Peter was doing something. So I said to Pete, Pete, what are you doing anything different? And Pete said, no, I'm just lying here really, really loving myself. So I think that was perhaps the first time that Peter really surrendered to loving himself, because for those of you who know Pete, he's very much, of course, a left brain person, and it takes a little bit of a nudge sometimes to get out of his left brain and to give himself permission to drop into his heart and to actively give himself the universal love and attention. And because he was doing that, it merged with my energy field. So with a couple, that's a beautiful thing to do. And by the way, I find Peter much easier to love when he loves himself. So for me, even for couples, so here I go again, for me, I much prefer Peter to love himself than to love me, because when Peter loves himself, I find my love for him is so much bigger. And I guess Peter would find the same as me. When I love myself, he will feel a lot more loved as well. So just remember that we've been taught to love each other the opposite way, an unnatural way. And the natural way is to give yourself the love that you deserve, because you're a sacred being, a sacred divine expression of God, and you need to be loved and worshipped, and especially in the first place that needs to come from you. You need to be in love with yourself, and then you become a magnet for love. And not only that, as you're doing that, the whole universe will transform, because how you feel inside your own heart is, of course, that flows out into the universe. So that will even clear pollution. You can sit next to a dam or a lake, loving your heart, and it will get rid of all the pollution, and it gets rid of all the tension and the fights and the division that we're seeing at the moment. And it's going to help our universe to escalate, or whatever the word is, into that fifth dimension. So once we're in the fifth dimension, there won't be so much duality anymore. So duality, at the moment, we're still really, really caught up in that. Duality just means like love and hate, right and wrong, dark and light, and so on. And we literally don't know yet. It's hard to imagine for most of us what it is going to feel like, but you get a taste of it already when you really, really practice to love yourself properly, in a way that God or the Creator wants you to love yourself. So I hope that you found this inspiring. So if you have any ailments, if you have sore tummy, or if you have cancer, love those cancer cells unconditionally. Love your bank account unconditionally. Love the holes in your relationship, and just get very, very creative, and just by simply using that language. And that language, it's going to feel really, really like the organic truth to you after you've kept saying it to you for many times. Because just remember, all the voices that you hear speaking in your head now, they actually come from your parents, or from your teachers, or your siblings, or your neighbors, or your role models in your early childhood. And what you're doing, you're simply bringing in the voice of love, the voice of unconditional love, which is a new cheerleader inside your body that's going to cheer you on and really unlock massive floodgates of abundance in your life, and your health and energy will also massively improve. So thank you, beautiful souls, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know what you think of this, if you understand what I'm saying, and please be inspired to practice this like minute to minute. Be totally relentless with your self-love and be absolutely committed. It's the most important thing in your life. Your life depends on it. Thank you, everyone. Have a really good week, and much love from the bottom of my heart to you all. Bye bye for now.